Now, private legal practitioner Oliver Barker-Vormawor has argued that in order to sustain and enhance democracy and democratic practice in Ghana, speech should be made absolutely free. The lawyer, who describes himself as a speech absolutist, noted that the criminalization of undesirable speech was inimical to the country's democratic development and the growth of the media. He explained that the only restraints on speech should be born out of societal values and not criminal law, as the latter creates an atmosphere of fear around speech. Speaking on JoyNews' The Law, he said criminalizing undesirable speech creates an economy of fear around speech.
Well, I have perhaps described myself as a speech absolutist in some regard, because I generally believe that the way in which you sustain a democracy and enhance the conversation about democracy is to make speech absolutely free. And I think that the restraints on speech come about, first of all, in the exchange of dialogue and argument. That I would say something and somebody would then issue a statement and say, we do not disagree, we disagree with this and we condemn it. That's one way in which our societal values is checking speech, not through criminal law. Because once you invite criminal law in the process, then one of the things you're going to create is that you're going to create an economy of fear around speech. But then if socially people can listen to one speech and say, this person has said this, but we condemn that, then that's fine. One of the things I have given an example, even in my case, since we started with that, is the persons who said, we agree with so many things you have said, but we don't agree with what you said here. And I said, that's absolutely fine. That's how the practice of democracy should operate, that other voices will then come in and challenge one person's speech, which will give an opportunity to clarify. Secondly, one of the things I have always maintained is that we won't be talking about freedom of speech if all speech that needs protection was desirable speech. The real purpose of the freedom is to protect speech that people deem undesirable. Because if it was, then there was no concern about it. So I think that the practice of democracy contemplates that we would meet speech or speech that we find undesirable. But then we should, and that's fine, because by allowing undesirable speech, we create the avenue for more desirable speech to go on. And this is not a principle that is unknown to our laws. For instance, in terms of criminal practice, we say that it is better for one guilty person to be let off than several accused persons. Or one guilty person to be let off, than rather innocent people to be locked up.
That's right.
We should bring that same thinking to how speech operates. That if in the general body of allowing speech, even if there may be some bad speech we are not okay with, that's fine. At least we're keeping the window and the door open for more speech to happen. That's what I'm saying. If we are thinking then in the language of, okay, what are we trying to achieve with protection of speech and protection of the media? We'll then come back to, are these laws proportionate and necessary in being able to keep the window open for people to be able to speak more to enhance our democracy?
Right.
Let me end on a final point. I think that culturally we are accepting of this because of how I can't translate democracy, which dissolves to speech rights. It's entirely an understanding that democracy is enhanced by exchange of speech and nothing else.